You're listening to the Becoming Zesty podcast. We are Megan and Dr. Alex, and we're so happy that you're here.
We are passionate about accelerated transformation, yours, ours, and the collective.
Personal and professional for coaches, practitioners, and leaders of all kinds.
Between the two of us, we seem to have done things the painful way. So let our pitfalls become your stepping stones. We are not afraid to share our raw and vulnerable truths in order to help you transform your thinking, your body, your heart, and your soul.
Combining over 15 years of functional medicine with brain-based habit change to lead you to create the life of your dreams, supporting yourself through all four bodies, physical, mental, emotional, and energetic, every step of the way.
We are transformation accelerators, wholeness cultivators, empowerment experts, speakers, authors, mentors, and change makers for a more loving world. By combining Dr. Alex's MD experiences
with Megan's mindset magic, we've helped hundreds of thousands of people transform their lives, and we can help you too. If you're ready to accelerate your transformation and have so much fun doing it, then stick around. We've got you covered. Quick reminder, this information is not meant to diagnose, manage, or treat disease. Always consult with your doctor, not this doctor, before making changes. Now let's get into today's episode.
Hello, welcome to the podcast. This is Megan. If you can't tell, it's because my voice is weird. Hello, weird voice. I'm going to keep this intro super short because there's going to be another intro. What we're doing is we have an amazingly popular, one of our most popular series on our podcast that I did last December, all about the series of possibility. And I had a bunch of clients who reminded me, they said, oh, I'm going to go back and do that. And it's a series that can be done over and over and over. It can be done at any time of the year. And, you know, this whole January 1st thing where people do the New Year's resolution is a great time to do it. So there are prizes, there are things that can happen, there are ways to participate, there's a workbook. It's all inside the episode and the recording. The most important thing that I want you to understand is that this was originally recorded last December. So when I talk about 2023, just insert in your brain 2024. And when I talk about December, insert in your brain January. We're doing a little bit a month later. And same thing is going to apply. 3 people still can win a ticket to our live event. We have our next one coming up January 19th and 20th in Virginia Beach, 2024. And if you're listening to this afterwards, or if you haven't won yet, you can go ahead and buy your ticket now. We will reimburse you if you win. And if you can't come to this one, still enter your workbook and do all the things that I suggest, because we're going to do it again in August in Dallas. We have lots of options. And also, be open to the possibility that maybe you'd win something else if you absolutely can't come to either of those. So we want you to win. You're going to hear why. And I'm going to keep this short so you can dig right into the series. We hope you enjoy it. Hello there. Welcome back to the Zesty Ginger podcast and to part 4 of the possibility series. Not part 4. Part 3, cheep, cheep, scratch that. Let me tell a joke instead, because I promised you a joke. Hey guys, I ordered a chicken and an egg from Amazon. I'll let you know. Yep, here we are. Silly dad jokes starting the day. If you did not listen to the first 2 parts, go on back and do that. Because this is a series and it goes in order. And there's a workbook and you can fill out the workbook and you can win things like a spot in our January training. So go to zestyginger.com/possibility to get the workbook. Go back, start at number 1. And let's get into today's topic. So the biggest problem that we see in modern society is the belief that being stressed is a badge of honor. Right? And I get it. We're told in society to do more, sleep when you're dead, that our worth is based on how much we marked off the to-do list. Working late is cool. Eating on the run, that's the norm. It's so easy to fall into that trap. Have you? I know I have.
But let me ask you, does checking things off of your list actually lead you to be more fulfilled at the end of the day? Does your boss remember the 80 plus hours that you put in? Or were you let go as soon as it was downsized? I saw that happen all the time. Does everyone with well-balanced children take them to 8 different activities a week? I know we don't. We don't really go to any. So no, absolutely not. And you could run yourself, your libido, your energy, your relationships into the ground if you hold on to that belief. So how do you keep up and have the idea of possibility? Because when you're in fight or flight, we do not have any energy for creation, nothing for creativity, nothing for flow, nothing for abundance. Everything is used for survival. And when you're surviving, you're not creating a life of your dreams. You're not creating a project of your dreams. You are surviving. And let me ask you, do you realize that you may have made a decision around stress or your identity that is stopping you from what you want? That's what we're going to get into today. Here's what mine was. I love to share you my personal examples. I never hold back on these because people always go, that's me, Megan. When I admit them, when you admit them, these are deep and these are universal. Lots of people have these. These are not my thoughts. These thoughts are running through a lot of people's minds. So I had the belief that I don't have the time for myself. Others are more important. I actually remember when building my business saying to one of my coaches, she's like, well, where do you plan on doing this? And I'm like, I am always on borrowed time. I don't actually have time for any of this. I am just like always stealing from one time to do another. Or the belief that stress drives productivity. Many people who has that one, you believe you actually need stress to be productive. Think about what that does for us. Let's really think about that. Health problems drive my desire to learn. That's one I had. So it's like, I didn't want this consciously, but I was drawing in different situations so I could learn. I got to learn all about mold for a year. Now I have a new belief that I can learn without having the thing happening in my body. Or sticking to a diagnosis, maybe sticking to it for control. So when I had one thing going on in my body and I was saying like, I'm doing this specific diet because it's like for the fungus, it's for the mold, when really I was wanting to control something and I wanted to have like a perfect diet, and it was a distraction because I spent so much time preparing food. It was actually a distraction from the emotional work that I needed to do and some in my life, real life relationship stuff. But there's so much time spent on food and diagnosis and protocols. It was really convenient to not have to deal with my stuff. Now, that's me personally. If you're over there being like, no, I have a real thing and I don't want to be doing this all the time, I'm not saying that this is everybody. Just try it on. Look at it. We usually don't see it till later. What are you avoiding? So what is the biggest decision in your life that is stopping you from your identity? That's what we're going to get into today. Because, as my friend Kyle Cease says, if you pee in part of the pool, you pee in all of the pool. You know what I'm saying? So these thoughts and these beliefs and these decisions, they affect everything. We're going to do the decision destroyer. So grab your workbook. It's an exercise. And we talk about these as decisions versus beliefs. So at some point, the cool thing about a decision is if you decided at one point, you can decide something else. So when did you decide this? Many people will be like, no, I just know that's how it is. Stress drives my productivity. If we look at it as a decision, a limiting decision, then we can figure out when we decided it and we can decide something else. So talk about the decision you made. Where were you when you were deciding that? Go back to that decision, whatever it is that came up for you, that you believe around stress or your productivity or your worthiness or what you do. And just before that, where were you? If you want to just close your eyes, if you're safe to, and float back to this time, where were you? Now, as you think about your present situation in life, notice how many options you have now. Think of that old thing, that old problem, and notice how it feels now. And now think about the next time you may do that thing. Know that you now have. Notice you feel much better doing it. At a time where maybe you would have taken that decision and said, oh, this is how it is. And now you can decide something different. Does it feel good to decide something different? So were you able to notice and recognize when you decided that and where you were? If you go ahead and just journal on that, take a while to journal on that, you can pause on that. Think about it, get in that, feel that, see what you're seeing and hear what you were hearing, really being there, feeling everything that was going on when you made that decision. And you can do that for each of these decisions that you've made at different times. See what you can learn from it. See how it's different now. Awesome. Because what if we hold on to things like, I have too much on my plate? What if it's not even true? What if it's just the wrong things are on the plate? As we say to people who come to our trainings, it's fast and it's last. This work is quick and easy. So what if there was something else to put on your plate that's actually quick and easy that makes all the other things no longer needed or necessary? Or are you saying you have too much on your plate? Is that because you don't say no to the things that aren't getting your results, or the no to the things that really aren't aligned with you? It must be a lot of work to keep your plate so full. Is that an empowering belief to keep putting on your plate that I have too much on my plate? All things to noodle on today. Okay. Thank you for being here. Make sure you grab the workbook. Make sure you're filling it out every day so that you can win. We'd love to have you in January visiting us in person. So if you want to wire this in a bit faster, rewiring the brain takes repetition. Go ahead and grab the add-on upgrade $10 meditation. It's called the Staircase Meditation. You go to zestyginger.com/meditations. And if you're ready to join our January event, you can come on over and do that as well. zestyginger.com/Jan, Jan. And let's end this episode with some possibility.
Hi, I'm Carly. And the first thing I want to say is, if you had told me 6 months ago that I would be doing a voiceover for the Zesty Ginger podcast, I would not have even believed you. Because my identity has grown and expanded so much in the course of 6 months that I wouldn't even have known how to dream of being the person that I am now. And it fills me up with so much light to think of the potential of, in just 6 months from now, who am I going to be? So I was a listener of the podcast. My friend sent me an episode back in April, and I slowly started listening to more and more of the episodes, and they started talking about this NLP practitioner training that they were doing. And it just seemed like a dream, as something that I'd want to do, but there's no way that I would actually do it. Just asking hey, do I fit in here? And that was my main concern, honestly, when I was signing up for the NLP practitioner training was, am I going to fit in? And can I tell you, I pulled into the driveway of the Airbnb that I was sharing with 2 other ladies, and instant connection. And then at the training, what's really insane is we weren't even working on this, but all of a sudden, when I was processing with some of the tools and resources that I gained, I was taking a shower one morning, I released a bunch of emotions, and I just said to myself, I'm going to quit my job, and I'm going to do it in 4 weeks. And my whole body just filled with energy. I don't even know how to explain it. I went back to the training, talked about it, et cetera, et cetera. Fast forward to the Monday, heading back to work, and I woke up that morning in bed, and I was like, nope, it's not going to be 4 weeks, it's going to be 2 weeks. And I walked into work and I quit. I quit my job. That NLP training gave me the tools and resources that I needed in a week to not only step into the identity that I was dreaming of, but to trust that this identity is a real person. And it's just I just need to keep showing up, and everything that I want, and even better than that, is right in front of me. I have a new family. I have new experiences. You are hearing my voice on a podcast right now. And I no longer have to question if this is reality, because I now know this is reality, and it's only going to get better from here. Bye.
Thanks for coming to hang out with us on the podcast. It is our goal to lead others through accelerated transformation that takes all parts of ourselves into account. And we need your help. We need your help to get the word out. At almost 2 million downloads and quickly heading to 3, we know that as this podcast grows, we're going to be able to reach more and more people and help them learn how all 4 bodies, physical, mental, emotional, and energetic, work so they feel empowered to be, do, and have whatever they want in life.
If you find this podcast helpful, please take a moment to text 5 friends you think might benefit and leave us a review. It means so much to share this work that has transformed our lives with others. We appreciate your help so much and can't wait to see you next time.